Good evening, and welcome to CelebrAsian Dance. I'm Laura Astwood, and I'm a member of the Autumn Melody Collective. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we, the Autumn Melody Collective, live, work, and perform on the unceded and unsurrendered territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. The Autumn Melody Collective has been working since 2010 to increase public awareness and appreciation of Chinese opera and Asian dance in Ottawa. We have produced 9 live performances over the years, but this is our first virtual event. We are thrilled to have attendees from across Canada and from several other countries as well. CelebrAsian Dance is an Asian Heritage Month program presented by the Autumn Melody Collective in partnership with Ache Worldfest. We are also very proud to be part of Small World Music's Asian Music Series. Finally, we gratefully acknowledge the support of the City of Ottawa through their cultural funding program, as well as the Ottawa Korean Cultural Centre, who have donated studio space for this event. This evening, we are honored to feature 3 internationally recognized dance artists from 3 different Asian traditions. William Lau specializes in Chinese operatic dance. Yeonji Hong is a practitioner of traditional Korean dance and a member of the National Dance Company of South Korea. And Deepti Gupta is a renowned exponent of the Kathak tradition of Northern India. This evening, each of these artists will present a live introduction to their unique art form to give you an idea of what to look for in their performance. Each introduction will be followed by a video excerpt of the artist in performance. Following the 3 presentations, there will be a facilitated Q&A session during which the artists will answer some questions from the audience. The theme for Asian Heritage Month this year is recognition, resilience, and resolve. As well as describing the experience of people of Asian descent in Canada and honoring their contributions and their diverse stories of resilience and perseverance, it is a call to action for all Canadians to come together to celebrate the incredible diversity that is our strength and to be resolute in our stand against all forms of anti-Asian racism and discrimination. And now please join me in welcoming Monica Wu from the Ottawa Asian Heritage Month Association. Thank you.
Good evening. Welcome to Ottawa, capital city of Canada. My name is Monica Wu on behalf of the Ottawa Asian Heritage Month Society. Thank you for joining us in celebration of Asian Heritage Month. First, I would like to thank William and his team for organizing this CelebrAsian Dance. They have spent many hours working on this fabulous show in the last few months. William has been one of our strong supporters, contributing his time, energy, and talents in the last 13 years. For viewers around the world, I would like to provide a historical background on Asian Heritage Month in Canada. In May 2001, Senator Dr. Vivian Poy, the first Asian senator, introduced a motion to recognize May as Asian Heritage Month. The motion was adopted by the Senate of Canada and then proclaimed by the Government of Canada in 2002. Asian Heritage Month provides an opportunity to highlight the contributions of Asian Canadians to nation building, science, business, government, sports, and arts. This can be illustrated by works Dr. Penya Akhavan, an Iranian-Canadian human rights lawyer, scholar, and former UN prosecutor. Geographically speaking, Asians include people from Turkey to Japan. To be an inclusive organization, the Ottawa Asian Heritage Month Society was established in 2004. We organize and coordinate many events throughout the month of May. We believe by engaging our fellow Canadians in lectures, film screenings, exhibitions, cultural performances, and stimulating programs, we can break racial barriers and stereotypes, and thus generate cross-cultural understandings and learnings. As an immigrant in Brazil and in Canada, I understand the feeling of being an outsider. I have witnessed apartheid in South Africa at age 12 and recognized that we all deserve respect and dignity, and that we are more alike than we realize. I would encourage young people to see the world and learn more than one language. Both traveling and learning another language will enhance our attitudes towards people who look different than us in a new positive way. Thank you, and let's enjoy the show.
William Lau. I'm the Chinese opera dancer. Thank you, welcome, and thank you, Laura and Monica, for all those wonderful remarks. First of all, I'd like to demonstrate and ask you to help me with some hand gesture. First of all, we have different type of role in Peking opera, male role, female role, painted face, and clown. 圣诞敬丑. So what I would like you to do is give me 5. Press the forefinger together, press your thumb down and open it. See this on the side, this is your tiger mouth. So a lot of the male movement is based on this tiger mouth. Next, what we're going to show you is the female role, which is the orchid flower. So give me 5 again. Put the middle finger and your thumb together and press the rest of your finger together. So you can see all the 5 fingers at every angle. So this is more the female role. See? It's more delicate. Now, don't let the flower die. Extend. Full blossom is springtime. Okay. So the next thing I'd like to show you is one very simple movement called Yun Shou, the cloud hand, to demonstrate the 4 roles. It's the same movement, but with nuance of facial expression and hand gesture, you will see the 4 different characters in front of you. First one, we do the male role. Remember, tiger mouth. Next, we're going to do the painter face. The painter face is more like a more hero, or like a more gigantic, and lots of facial pattern on their face. So the movement has to be bigger. The same movement, this time bigger. That's the painter face. Next, we'll do the female role. Do you remember? It's the orchid flower. But of course, the circle cannot be that big. So smaller movement. Same. That's the female. Last but not least is the clown. It's more or less the same movement, but watch for the surprise at the end. So the next thing I'd like to show you is music and dialogue, okay? But we don't have anybody, so it's more like a monologue. And the character is actually Mulan. So using a horse whip, this is my horse whip, and basically she's saying like, moon is shining above the sky. The soldier has a sleepless night. Military draft is urgent. How soon may I arrive at the battlefront? Okay, this time with a bit of sound, so you can see how the movement go with the sound. Usually the sound follow the actor, but obviously you don't see any live musician here, so I will just try to accommodate. So that's the Mulan. Second one I'm going to show you is water sleeve. So I have a costume. This is water sleeve. The white part is water sleeve, okay? So I want to show you the how do we use the water sleeve. Okay, so they are part of an extension of the character, okay? So for example, if I'm very happy, okay? Happy. I'm upset. Okay, so they basically this is the water sleeve, but I want to show you with music as well as I'm going to show you a bit of my tiara. Okay, so this is a beautiful tiara called Feng Guan. And basically is the royal concubine or the queen, you know, whatever, they wear this type of thing. And this is actually made with bird feather that stick on top of the decoration. Okay, so next I'm going to show you is the entrance with the music and the water sleeve. Thank you very much. I have selected two repertoire to show you. One is more traditional and it's called the Jade Bracelet, okay? So the little girl is coming out of the handkerchief, very happy, saying that I am Sun Yu Zhao and I have all dressed up and a girl heart is very sensitive and there's nothing to do. I'm going to go outside to do some embroidery. So she unlock the door and step outside and look at the weather. The second repertoire is also a new one. I mean, relatively in terms of traditional combined with contemporary, is the new music concert. And actually by the talented award-winning composer and conductor, Alice Ping Ho, with flute with Robert Aiken, and also the video by Jennifer Mascherino. Okay, enjoy the two video, please. The first one, the traditional one, is by video by Mao Weiming, and it was just my recent 2019 show. Thank you. Please enjoy the video.
Hello, everyone. I'm Yeonji Hong. Thank you for attending. If I say Korean traditional dance, most people will think of the fan dance, right? So I will show you some of that today, but also I want to share another one. That shows the elegant beauty of Korea called taepyeongmu. To understand Korean dance, you have to understand that the most important thing in every single Korean dance is the breath and tag curve. This is Korean flag. And this line is tag curve. Okay. Let's take a moment here. And everyone, breathe with me. Inhale. Exhale. How do you breathe? Do you breathe with your chest or belly? In Korean dance, we go deeper. So we breathe with our Tanjong. Here is Tanjong, which is below the belly button. So try this with me. Down, please. Start from the Tanjong. The breath comes up. Back in, backbone getting longer. Try to reach here and make a circle. Exhale, stops at the Tanjong. So breath is never ending in the movement like the water, water mirror. Let's try wedge movement with our Tanjong breathing. Are you ready? Good. It's all movement from the Tanjong breathing. So first, move down, please. When you open your arm side, start from the Tanjong. Breathe, come down. When you open your arm side, in the order of elbow, wrist, fingertips. And exhale. In the same order, elbow, wrist, fingertips. So open your arm, rolling your arms. Open your arms, rolling your arms. When you see the side, you can see a good curve. Right? Okay, the next move is flip your wrist. Open your arm side, palm facing up. And your wrist is a pivot. And use your forefinger to draw a half circle like this. 1, 2, 3. Yes, let's do it. Alternate right and left. And inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. When I do this, imagine nature. It's similar to the wind and the movement of water, right? Yes. Okay, it's the same with the fan. I prepare the fan. Look at me. I open your arm side. Exhale. But now the breath has to extend to the end of the fans. And flip right hand. Down, flip your left. Down, like this. How was it? Good. Yes. Another thing, you can see Tanjong breathing when I turn. Watch this. I will turn two ways. So first one. And second one. How was it? Yes. Which one did I use Tanjong breathing? First or second? The first time I used normally. The second time I used Tanjong breathing. When I use the Tanjong breathing, the skirt balloons out, right? Yes, the skirt. The skirt shows my breath. Yeah. I want to share some history. In the past, women would dance more fast. Like this. But as proscenium theater were introduced in Korea, the fan became bigger and more elaborate. Like this. Yeah, super hard to dance with, but very beautiful, right? So now I want to show a difficult technique. This is called 연풍대, jumping and turning while opening and closing the fans. It looks like a bird flapping its wings, right? Yeah. Now we have learned a little. It's time to watch 2 videos. Look for the movement I should do. The first video is a solo fan dance. Nature is very important in Korean art. Look for flowers and wind and bird. Right. Okay, in the dance. Also, the dance takes place in both Korea and Canada. See how the movement related to the environment. The second video is 태평무. 태평무 is a dance performed by the king and queen. It is dance for the peace and the security of the land and sky. Yeah, look for the elegant curves in the movement of the arms and feet. Okay. Also, 태평무 is a 태평무 is a cultural response to the many invasions Korea suffered throughout its history. Right now, we are dealing with uncertain times, especially because of COVID, right? I hope this dance can be a soothing medicine for the peace and happiness of Canada and beyond. Please enjoy and play video.
Namaskar. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to join dear William and dear Yeonji to celebrate Asian Heritage Month with you all. Today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Kathak, North Indian classical dance. We say in India, Katha kahe, so Kathak kahave. He who tells a story is a storyteller. Today, I'm going to demonstrate 2 pieces of repertoire for you. The first is the story of the merchant and the parrot, a tale by Jalaluddin Rumi in Persian, but that will be second. Let me demonstrate for you how we use hand gestures in Kathak to tell the story. So, once there was a merchant. This is his shawl. Once there was a merchant, and he had a beautiful parrot. One day, when the merchant was going on business to India, he said to all his workers and to his beautiful parrot, "What shall I bring for you from India? Tell me, and I promise to bring it for you." Well, the parrot was sound, and she said, "When you go to India, look in the trees. There you will see many of my friends and relatives. Say to them that here I am in this state, imprisoned in a cage. Is this the faithfulness of true friends, that I am imprisoned in a cage and you fly freely in the rose garden?" This is the tale of the merchant and the parrot. But today, I want to first teach you a little bit about the basic technique of Kathak. We are going to learn a 10-beat count. Not yet, not yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can you count that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, when we do this cycle of 10 beats with the tabla, we use the sound of the tabla to recite the 10-beat cycle. Di, na, 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 di. And the first thing a dancer learns, can you see the beautiful bells on my feet? They make a lot of noise. Is we learn to stamp in the 10-beat cycle like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I will demonstrate to you a little bit of how we play with the 10-beat cycle and do variations in the 10-beat cycle. This is how a dancer would begin the 10-beat cycle with the music. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is how we begin to play with the 10-beat cycle. We will now watch video to show you how this 10-beat cycle is performed on the stage in a series of variations, followed by The Merchant and the Parrot of Jalaluddin Rumi. Please enjoy.
Hey! Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this fabulous and unique event, celebration, and you're ready now to interact with these three fabulous performers. My name is Yasmina Proveyer. I'm co-founder of Ashe Worldfest and a member of the Autumn Melody Collective. It is an honor and a privilege to facilitate a brief conversation with these incredible performing artists. If you're watching us through YouTube or Facebook, please feel free to use the chat box to ask your question or just to say hello. Going into the panel, please let's welcome Professor Yeonji Hong.
Yes, hi.
Hi. Kathak dancer Deepti Gupta.
It's not letting me turn the camera on.
Get the camera on.
Speak.
Hello.
Yes,
Must be.
we can hear you. See you. And Chinese operatic dancer William Lau.
Williams, no, whoever's.
I don't see Deepti for some reason.
We have a message for her saying that the host has disabled her camera. Oh, there we go.
Here
Can
we
you see me?
are.
Yes.
Amazing. Yes. Hello, and thank you so much for these beautiful demonstrations and segments of your performances. Let's share now a few words, and I know I already said if whoever is watching, they can use the chat box to send a question or just say hello. But now maybe we can go around and each of you can tell us, when did you start to dance and when did you decide that this was going to be your path? So let's start with Professor Yeonji Hong.
Okay. Yes, hi everyone. First, she's loyal. Yes, because I need her. You know, my English is not too perfect. So please.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm just going to be helping Yeonji Hong with English.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes, I started Korean dance when I was 8 years ago.
8 years old.
Years old. And 저는 그 한국무용을 할 때면 되게 내성적인 저의 성격을 정말 이렇게 표현할 수 있어서 제가 춤을 춰야겠다, 무대에 서야겠다라는 것을 다짐하게.
So she started dance when she was 8 years old, and the reason that she continued was because she had a very shy personality, but through dance she was able to express her emotion and express her personality more. So she decided to continue on with Korean traditional dance.
Thank you. What about you, Deepti?
Thank you, Yasmina. Hi, everyone. I think that I enjoyed dance a lot when I was a child, but we moved to Canada when I was 8 years old. And for many years, I kept looking for ways to study Indian dance. And at the time, there was not many teachers here. But I was in Hamilton and I would just do whatever dance was available, international folk dancing or dance lessons inside the school. But I think that I really became very much involved in dance as a passion and as a path when I joined Le Groupe de la Place Royale in Ottawa to study modern dance and also to study Bharatnatyam with my teacher Sheila Rao in Ottawa. And then I knew that I must learn the dance form that attracts me the most, Kathak, and follow it wherever it takes me. And it has become a lifelong practice.
Beautiful. What about you, William?
Yes, actually, I started when we immigrated from Hong Kong to Montreal, and I was about 11. And actually, originally, I was just supposed to accompany my sister for her Chinese folk dance, but eventually the teacher, Ruth Lam, actually persuaded me to join. And I remember it was in the Chinese Catholic Church in Chinatown. And the first dance I learned, it was called the Mongolian chopstick dance. And it was choreographed by a Taiwanese dance artist. And my pursuit of the dance continued. Of course, weekend dance is not enough, so I actually studied ballet, classical ballet. And the main major turning point of my life is actually with York University, where I was a student, also with Deepti. At that time, I was exposed to a lot of culturally diverse professional artists. And I have wonderful professors such as Nina Deshane, Selma Autumn, that pushes me and continue to support me throughout my career. So, and I was very happy. I was the first recipient of Chinese dance in the old time with the Canada Council. And I went to China to study, and I came back and decided to continue this particular path.
Wonderful. Well, thank you everyone for sharing. Let's talk a little bit about being a professional artist of such a particular expression here in Canada. How you find that? I mean, how challenging is that? And maybe we could go around. Let's start with Deepti, and then we go with Professor Yeonji, and then William.
Such a challenging question, Yasmina. And I have to say that to take dance, especially Indian classical dance, as a career path, as a life path in a country like Canada has been full of challenges. When I decided to become a Kathak dancer, ahead of me there is Reena Singha. Reena Singha is a pioneer of Kathak dance in Canada, but she completed her entire training in India and came here as a fully formed dancer. In the next generation, there was only me. And I was trying to forge a path between, being a young Canadian of Indian origin and trying to do a traditional art form. And I would have to say that there were not many opportunities to really establish myself in any way that would be sustaining. And there were no places to go teach. There was very few places to perform. And many people did not know about Indian classical dance. So over the years, I think it's always been an effort to keep breaking new ground, to keep charting a new path, making a new map of where Indian classical dance can flourish in this new land. It is like transplanting a tradition or a flower, beautiful flower from another country or another garden to this one. And it takes a bit of time, but I think as the generations go, it's becoming easier. But certainly, I think that I met my fair share of challenges trying to survive as a professional.
Absolutely. What about you, Professor Yeonji?
So I'm just going to translate what she said to me.
Absolutely. Thank you for helping.
No problem. So some of the difficulties that she had in pursuing Korean traditional dance professionally takes a lot of discipline, this dance. And one of the hardest thing is to perfect the breath, like she also mentioned, breath and the movement and the emotion. So all three of them have to be in perfect balance. And she mentioned that even if she danced the same choreography over a long time, like over 10 years, it's still hard to perfect it because you need to find that balance between the three. And also because these dance they have masters that master dance that are dancing this, and they're in their 60s and 70s. So it's hard for the younger dancers to really follow into their footsteps and to perfect it. So this dance can be passed along in the original way that it has been brought down. So that's one of the difficulties in pursuing this professionally.
Thank you. William?
For me, also, obviously, I share my challenges. But I must say, when I started, I was actually in Montreal at that time. And there were a lot of network of folk dance. And I was part of that folk dance milieu. I remember there's some international event. We actually represented Canada to Puerto Rico and also to North Carolina, performing like folk dance. And when I was in Toronto and mainly in after York, I must say that I was very lucky because both the Indian community and the Korean community, those are the pioneer artists such as Rina, Manaka, Mi Young Kim, really adapt me as their child. They gave me so much opportunity. I'm forever indebted by their generosity of including me in their community. And this is why I'm very grateful that I have these two wonderful artists here to join me. I want to continue this tradition of the Asian dance community unity and support for each other. Thank you.
Great. I know, well, we have over 100 people watching from YouTube and other people watching from Facebook. Some people already are posing questions. I know for Professor Hong, they already asked, they were interested about learning about the Korean instruments you use in the first dance. So I think you already answered that. Thank you for that. If you want to say anything about it, also you can add it. I have a question particularly for William. Someone is interested in knowing if you need to practice martial arts to do Chinese opera. And of course, this is probably related to the sword dance segment.
Well, there's the element of martial art, but it's not really martial art. Like even though I can do the wiggling of the sword, but if you ask me to fight, I'll for sure not able to win. So it's just kind of an element. It's a bit like how would I say technique. It be a sword, ribbon, like a Korean dance, anything you hold in your hand or wear in your costume, they become part of the character. So on stage, I look like, my God, I can fight, but actually, everything is choreographed. So yes, there is for sure some linkage, and there's a lot of learning across different Chinese classical arts, such as calligraphy, such as painting, and martial art. They're all related. And the more you appreciate and understand and learn, then you can absorb it as part of you. So then you can express those in your artistic expression.
Thank you for sharing. I think this is a question for each of you. Denise McMullen asking if you offer online lessons, and maybe you can explain a little bit of, I guess everyone is doing some virtual activity. This is our first virtual event, by the way. So I wanna congratulate you all because we have been doing very well, including myself. So, let's talk about which platform, where people can find you if they want to take lessons with you, from you.
Okay, so I'll begin. So we're actually in the Korean Cultural Center located in Ottawa right now. And teacher Yeonji Hong has been teaching with us since 2019. And after COVID hit, we turned everything into an online class. So actually, this coming Friday is one of the last class that we're offering. It was an online free traditional dance class. It was an open class on Zoom. So if anyone's interested, you guys can find KCC Canada, it's Korean Culture Center Canada, on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, and then there would be a Zoom link. And we have a break over the summer, and then we'll be offering more online courses starting from September. And also for those of you who are local, we've been doing classes with actual instruments. Like one of the questions is which instruments were used, and one of them is 장구, which is an hourglass-shaped drum. And it can be played while sitting down, or for dance, it's incorporated. So you tie it around your shoulder, and then you would dance while you're playing Changu. So we rented those instruments out to people who were in Ottawa, and she also did, it's also ongoing right now. So she's doing a Zoom class with traditional dance with Changu. So yes, you can look more into that if you guys are interested.
I think it would be great if we can also post on the comments. We can share that information with the link. That will be probably most of the audience will find it helpful too. So you
Okay.
have the right link to it. Thank you.
Yes, I just want to add that I was a student with Dr. Yeonji, and it was fabulous a teacher, and I enjoyed myself so much. I learned so much from her, and I hope that people do, especially the Ottawa people, do come to take the class. Deepti, you go ahead because I don't teach.
Yes, I have been teaching online on Zoom, and I did one course in the fall from September to December. I did another session online on Zoom in the spring, and we have taking a break right now. But if anybody would like to get in touch with us, you can email us at arzudancetheater@gmail.com. That is Arzu Dance Theater is my company. Maybe Yasmina can post that in the comments, and just let us know if you're interested. I also teach privately online for advanced students, and yes, we're flexible and we are teaching online. Although the Zoom experience is not the same as learning in person, we are waiting eagerly for classes to start again.
Thank you. What about you, William? Anything to share?
No teaching.
Okay. I guess I think we wanted to talk about as well about creating and performing, and how difficult has been for you in the past year, or maybe anything you want to share, that something that you have learned and is kind of you're already embracing it or incorporating in your delivery model of what you do.
I can start.
Yes, please.
So I think that I found this past year to be really kind of up and down. Sometimes I felt very motivated to carry on my practice, but it was very solitary and very alone. And as much as I want to go inward and learn more about my practice, I felt that I was not able to share and not able to spend time being creative with other dancers, which is what I really like to do. So I think that it has been very difficult for embodied forms like dance, where I need to interact with musicians and other dancers. And it's a very compromised situation. So even though we are trying to stay active and we're trying to stay connected with people via technology, really, if I speak from the heart, I'm waiting for things to be open so that we can be in a studio together. And I so value these moments where Autumn Melody Collective has created a space for us to share a little bit and feel like we are artists and we are dancers again, and share a virtual space together. But it isn't the same, and I am looking forward to being in a real space with real dancers and audience.
I think we're all looking for that time to be back, and I hope this absence on the stage will create more motivation to audiences and more eagerness to discover and watch live events. Professor Yeonji Hong?
Yeah, so very similar to what Deepta said, but some of the difficulties was, as you mentioned, like virtual class on Zoom, the directions are difficult, like the mirroring is difficult. Also teaching with Changu, the instrument, it makes movement more difficult. So those are some of the challenges. And she misses having that connection and the interaction with the audience, especially you need to like breathe with the audience and have that interchanging energy. So she really misses out on that. But she's also grateful that we were able to actually invite more students from all over Canada because it was an online class, where when we did offline class, it was just limited to people in Ottawa. So we actually got people from like the West Coast to the East Coast, and we also had some people from different countries joining us. So that was a very good opportunity to open an environment to more diverse people. And also, even in these hard times, through those virtual classes, we were able to share energy and just motivate each other to learn and to move around in an enclosed space. So those are what she felt. And she really misses the time where we were able to meet together. So yeah, I guess we all hope that this time will end soon and we'll be back to normal soon.
Absolutely. And even for our event today, if we were put it on a live or in a theater, yeah, probably we'll just limit it to the people who are in the stand. And this is the good positive side of hosting events online. They reach out, it's a global audience. You can get people watching you from all part of the world. And if you want to stick to the positive side, I know it's very challenging from the technical aspect and of course the interaction with the audience, but it's obviously another type of delivery. And if you're thinking in long term, like to build and continue nurturing bigger audiences, it's a great way to market as well yourself beyond your region. Would you like to say anything, William? I have a question.
No, I have nothing to add. I think I share the same challenges with my fellow artists, and also all this positive thing you say. I think it is a trend, and we have to adapt. And I think that this gives us good opportunity, and just continue, keep up.
And I guess as well, a good thing as well of this time is the connection, like networking with people you never thought that you're gonna be connected, because you kind of have your own circles. And being online, it kind of puts you in a position where you have to connect with so many people, so many peers around the world, and expanding your networks and your audiences. I have a question for Deepti. Someone is asking about, someone is wondering about objects that are danced.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Someone is wondering about objects that are danced. They said that at the times you can also dance with objects. If you can address that, I guess, with certain items or...
No, in Kathak, we don't really dance with objects. Kathak is a very fast moving dance form. It's mostly a solo dance form traditionally. And we tell stories by changing characters. It can be a female, it can be a male, or we do rhythm work, but we don't really dance with objects because we're moving very fast all the time.
Yeah, and also maybe the objects are the bells that you're wearing on your feet that actually they are...
Let me show you. Can you see these?
Yeah.
So these are very unique to Kathak. It's a very long strand of bells, and they are an integral part of Kathak, where we tie these on our ankles. There's more than 100 of them on each ankle, and then we are trained to play them like a rhythm instrument.
So you tie one like this in one of your each of your legs.
That's right. This one is just for one side.
One is the long
wearing it. And then there's another one for the other side.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, it's a very, because you also create a dialogue as well with the percussion, because it's a very percussive movements, right? With your...
Very percussive. So it's the story of rhythm, very, very percussive. And today we were sharing variations in 10-beat cycle, but we do all kinds of cycles, and it's a dialogue between the tabla, which is a drum. It's two drums played like this. You can look up tabla on YouTube. Lots of, like Zakir Hussain. There in Toronto also, there are many, many fine tabla players like Ravi Nempali. And that is the dialogue between Kathak and percussion, is with the tabla and the feet.
Yes. I thank you so much for sharing that. I have a question that is for, for if each of you can talk about this. I guess it's about breathing while you're dancing. For the Chinese dance, it seems more natural. For the Korean dance, it is more like in the movement. And Kathak dance almost seems to hold the breath. So can each of you can comment on that? This is another question from the audience. So let's start with Professor Yeonji Hong, and then William, and then Deepti.
그러면 항상 어떤 동작을 하기 전에 호흡부터 시작을 하는데 호흡의 그런 흐름에 따라서 동작이 달라지고 또 거기에 따라서 감정이 나오기 때문에 굉장히 중요하다. 것은 끊어지지 않고 계속 이어지는 한국의 그런 정서와도 비슷하다라는 걸 말씀드립니다.
So before any of the dances begin, Korean dance always practices breathing, and it can be said that it's one of the most fundamental aspects of Korean dance, and it's important that it doesn't end midway. So it continues and flows through the entire dance, and through the breathing, your emotions and the culture and the traditions are like shared with the audience. That's one of the most important aspects of breathing.
예를 들어서 제가 동작을 한번 보여드릴게요.
Oh, she just wanted to show. Oh, and she also mentioned how the dance movements can be different by how you breathe. She's just going to demonstrate.
Yes. First, 저는 기분이 좋았을 때.
So this is when you're happy and you're very joyful.
슬플 때.
And when you're doing a sad piece, express sad emotions.
Yeah.
And so what you want to express is all within how you breathe, and you express that through your movement. So I think breathing, it's called Tanjong Breathing in Korean traditional dance. It's a really important aspect of Korean traditional dance.
And 들이마시고 내쉬고를 중간중간에 끊었다가 내쉴 수도 있고 들이마시다가 한 번에 올릴 수도 있고 그런 것들을 사용해서 동작을 감정을 표현하게 됩니다.
And when you breathe in and out, you sometimes hold it, and then sometimes you like connect it. So how you really control the flow of your breathing in and out, it can change how you express the dance.
Very interesting. It's very theatrical too, like dramatic. Great, beautiful. William?
Yes, I agree 100% what Dr. Yeonji Hong said. The breathing is the most basic, but it's the most essential. Same way in Chinese operatic dance, and obviously you also have to sing, right? So actually there's a lot of thing where we call the liang xiang, where you strike a pose, ba, ba, tan. You know, so there is a holding of the breath, but at the same time it's still circulating and the energy come out. And sometimes the important part also is the contrast, where the music is very fast, but yet you hold, you don't move, right? So sometimes you go with the music, sometimes there is a contrast to make the art form interesting. And I think obviously in terms of the voice projection, and like in the female role you sing in falsetto, so there's a lot of exercise you need to do. And similar to Korean dance is also the belly. That's the important part where everything come from there. So then all your, same with your movement, like, you know, turn, pa. So it's called Shen Yun. So the body, the breathing, the movement, your eye, everything is coordinated. Thank you.
We can see that. It's obvious. Thank you for sharing. Deepti?
Yeah, so I think that I have to agree with both of my colleagues. Breath is very important. In Kathak, we don't sing while we are dancing, but we are expected to recite the complicated compositions, the rhythm compositions. So, for instance, di na di na di na take it dhan dhan di, or even longer ones, as you saw in the piece that the first variations that I was dancing, de tam de tam de tam daga daga tun daga to. So the dancer is expected to really have good breath control, because after dancing very strongly, strenuously, you have to go and recite variations for the tabla player so he knows what you're going to dance. And we start that in the beginning when you saw me do the first movements. In the tat, we call the tat, which is taking your place and taking your place within the time cycle. Then you control your breath and try to have the breath go with the time cycle, with the rhythm. Dhi, na, na, dhi, na, dhi. So at that time, you try to coordinate the breath and have the breath and the rhythm become one, so that when you are doing your variations, you're always within the tempo.
Well, thank you very much. This has been very informative. I know we have a lot of comments, beautiful comments, very positive reaction from the audience as well. I guess there are people also interested in, after everything goes back to normal, are you, Professor Yeonji Hong and Deepti, are you considering continue hosting online lessons, or you will kind of close that door?
I think that I would, of course, I'm in Hamilton. Between here and Toronto, I would like to have in-studio classes, but as you said, the world has opened up. I've been hosting some interesting discussions in the codification and history and theory of Indian dance, and those classes have gone worldwide. So I think that I would be available to work with people over Zoom or whatever other platforms are available, because I think it's a way to stay connected and support people who may not be able to come in person. So yes, I will look forward to continuing that relationship.
Amazing.
Also for Yeonji, when everything goes back to normal, we will still be incorporating both offline and online courses. So probably the open classes will still be online, but then the classes where you need instruments, because we can't like ship instruments Canada-wide, it'll only be available for people that are local, which is Ottawa. Yes, but we actually, I think this is a great opportunity because we got to try the online platform and it's working great. Yeah, so we will continue even everything goes back to normal.
Amazing. Thank you so much to each of you.
Thank you, Yasmina.
It's been a delightful conversation. I hope the audience learn as well, and they can find you as well on your channels. We can keep going for all night, but unfortunately, we just have to come to an end. And I want to thank you again for your sharing, your professionalism. This is the first, like I say, the first event that the Autumn Melody Collective hosts online. We had over 300 participants registered in advance, and currently we have over 200 people watching us. Thank you everyone who is tuning with us and for your kind comments, your greetings. If someone missed out, and you can still share the YouTube link with your friends, your family, or just for yourself, you can always go back and enjoy again Celebration. On behalf of the Autumn Melody Collective members, Laura Aswood, William Lau, myself, we would like to acknowledge our fabulous production team. So we had Bill Stobby for publicity, our graphic designer, Ivan Kao, Yurim, the Korean interpreter, thank you so much. Yingwei Shang, Health Times and Canada China News for Chinese media press release, and of course the Ottawa Asian Heritage Month Society, as well as our partner Ashe Worldfest and Small World Music Center. A special thanks to our technical director today, Reza Mogadas, who helped us to put this event together, and the City of Ottawa Cultural Funding that made possible this project, and our Cultural Funding Officer, Maria Christine Ferro. Please follow us on Facebook, Autumn Melody Collective. That way you can stay tuned for our coming events. Thank you again for watching and choosing to tune in with us this Sunday evening. Enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.